Hello again everyone, and welcome to yet another of our video contributions for COBB tuning. Today we will be installing COBB's rear motor mount for the Gen 2 MAZDASPEED3. Installation couldn't be quicker or simpler for this part that will have your transmission feeling better than when it was fresh off the dealer lot. Well, let's get started. The tools required to install COBB's rear motor mount are a 3/8 ratchet, a 19mm socket, a 17mm socket, a 10mm hex key bit, and a torque wrench reading 70 foot-pounds. Inside of the box, you'll find COBB's rear motor mount along with the supplied hardware to complete your installation. Start off by getting the vehicle up on a lift or placing jack stands under the front of the vehicle to get it up in the air and give you some room to work. Make sure the emergency brake is set firmly and you've blocked the rear wheels if you are using jack stands. To remove the vertical and horizontal bolts holding on your OEM motor mount, we will be using a 17mm socket. Using a 19mm socket, remove the bottom and rear bolts that secure the transmission bracket to the transmission. Just loosen the forward 19mm bolt and allow the bracket to swing downward. You can now remove the OEM rear motor mount. Install your new COBB tuning rear motor mount into the same position as the factory mount. It will likely be a tight fit. Work the mount back and forth until you are able to line up the vertical bolt holes. Then, loosely install the proper 17mm bolt into the subframe, but do not tighten it at this time. Use the cap screw, lock washer, and flat washer to secure the transmission bracket to the motor mount. Now place the proper 19mm bolts back into the transmission bracket. Using the torque wrench and 19mm socket, torque the 3 bolts on the transmission bracket to 70 foot-pounds. Using the torque wrench and 17mm socket, torque the vertical subframe bolt to 70 foot-pounds. Using the torque wrench and 10mm hex bit, torque the socket head cap screw to 70 foot-pounds. This particular part is under huge amounts of dynamic forces while driving. Because of this, we recommend you go back and re-torque all the fasteners after the first few days of driving to ensure nothing has come loose. Visual inspection is recommended during oil changes or any other time that you're under the vehicle. Well, the installation of COBB's rear motor mount is just as quick and simple as that. I am ecstatic to let you guys know that after the installation of this rear motor mount, your transmission will finally feel the way it should have from the factory. Shifting feels more crisp, no more knocking sound when slamming through the gears, and even the clutch uptake seems a bit smoother. Just another outstanding product from COBB. Well, thank you for joining us and stay tuned to see what else COBB has to offer for your MAZDASPEED3.